who would be more offensive.
I understand you've not got a lot, but just Kobe mainly.
Yes, it was.
My head was hot last night, but seeing this interview this morning, my days. The laugh when the reporter mentioned Mino's name was bad enough. But Shea Lacey, does the bloke just not exist? You said before the game that he was ready there to help the team. Well, you clearly don't think that he is, do you? And once again, Amorim simply doesn't think that he's at fault for anything that goes wrong at United. Once again, tries to shift the blame onto the players, does it so often, it's a common theme, and is straight out of the Mourinho playbook. But in today's video, I want to take a look at what went wrong for United up against West Ham, as it was a lot. But as always, guys, drop a like if you enjoy the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it.
Okay, let's go.
First, I'm going to talk a bit more about the changes that Amorim made, and then I'll go on to United's struggles in attack that were even there before Amorim started to make the subs. But I've spoke about these sort of defensive changes that Amorim has done, and he's done it in the Europa League final, he's done it more recently in the game up against Tottenham, and when you're changing this much of your back five, it can't help defensively, but also, if you're chasing the game, it's all just pretty pointless. And then with the subs when we're 1-0 up, are you that scared of West Ham that you can't go out and try and get the second goal? You've got to immediately start retreating. As soon as you go 1-0 up, you're bringing on Ugarte for your striker. West Ham had one dangerous player in this game. Jared Bowen was the one attacking player that carried some real threat for West Ham. But then United allowed him closer to our box by retreating so deep. And he almost set up the winner for him. And then Darlow after the game talked about United lacking control, and he's dead right. We've said it so many times when United have let teams back into games. But nothing Amorim does signals that he wants control. He brings on Ugarte, who just seems to be the master of chaos this season. So you know what you're going to get when you bring him on. You leave Mino on the bench, who would be that midfielder that could slow the game down, keep the ball, control the tempo of the game. He could maybe give you that control that Amorim says that he so dearly wants. But Amorim seems allergic to that. Instead, United have these 50-50 matches where, yes, we can beat pretty much any team in the league on our day. But that's largely due to the player quality that we have. Nothing about what United are doing right now is sustainable. And my last point on the subs, if you keep making negative changes in games, you're going to get negative results. And Amorim has been doing that for over a year now, keeps doing the same thing, and we keep getting the same results because of it. And Fabregas explains that really well in this video.
Change a midfielder or a striker and you put a defender in the last 10-15 minutes. You're playing with a back five all of a sudden. Because you saw from outside that they are playing with really high fullbacks or whatever reason. Inside, the players, you see that he's taken a striker off. He's put a defensive player on. Yeah. So automatically, your mindset is, oh, the coach wants us to defend.
But that's enough about the subs. Let's take a look at what happened to United in that game, even in the first half. Up against yet another mid to low block, and United simply struggled to break him down. Saw it up against Everton. We saw it for large spells up against Palace. But United had the set pieces to bail him out on that day. We didn't have that up against West Ham. And Ole was right when he said that if you don't press this United team, they struggle. And that's exactly what West Ham did. Bringing in Mazraoui at right centre-back was a nice change for United. Having him in possession is going to be better than Euro in that right centre-back spot. But the thing is that West Ham largely are happy for Luke Shaw on one side, Mazraoui on the other side to have the ball. But this was a good instance, even the first minute of the game, of why Mazraoui is better obviously on the ball than Euro's going to be. Mazraoui, the simple ball is going to be out wide to Ahmad. And that's what West Ham are largely thinking Mazraoui's going to do. But instead, he plays a nice little disguised ball into Mbeumo through the lines, and then United then are onto West Ham's back line. You're just mixing things up a little bit more. You're doing something that's a little bit unexpected for West Ham. So that is going to be an instance where having Mazraoui in there is going to be a little bit better than Euro. But United largely didn't really make full use of it. And I spoke after the Palace game about United's directness. And up against West Ham, where we should have been largely controlling the game at Old Trafford, pinning them into their own box, far too often we just looked to play that hero ball and ended up just giving the ball away super cheaply. Doesn't matter who the personnel are, they're all doing the same thing. Casemiro here. You could play the simple ball through to Cunha, allow him obviously either just just to control the ball, play the ball backwards, just keep United having that possession, or he could potentially turn and have a run on West Ham. But instead for Casemiro, we try and play that hero ball out towards Ahmad, ends up going in nowhere near him. United give the ball back cheaply. Another minute later, again, you've got Xerxes dropping a little bit deeper, doing what he does, drops the ball off to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, instead of just getting United on the ball, getting a few more players forward, instead we try and play that hero ball again. West Ham end up getting that ball back. Wasn't just the midfielders, Luke Shaw here. This wasn't really a counter-attacking opportunity. This was just where West Ham are sat in that block, asking United, right, go on then, do something. When Luke Shaw holds the ball for about 5 seconds, the crowd starts getting on his back, asking him to do something with it. But the only thing that he really has to do is play a long ball into Bruno Fernandes, who's making a run, but he's signalled offside. So United just had no answers to get in behind this West Ham team. And I could criticise individual players, but it happens far too often across the whole team for it just to be sort of individual errors and individual mistakes. Like, Amorim is the one picking Bruno Fernandes in that deeper position specifically for these type of passes. It's one of the main reasons that Bruno and Casemiro are playing every single week in the Premier League. United clearly didn't want the midfielder in the summer. Well, yes, we give a token Baleba bid in, but they were happy with their midfield options largely. So to all the people saying that we could play this controlled way, but Amorim just simply doesn't have the players, that's utter rubbish. United don't want to play that way under Amorim. If that was the case, then Mino would be in this team. He'd be the one player who could put his foot on the ball, control the tempo of it. But Amorim doesn't want that. And he doesn't want it because United can only create chances from this super direct play or playing on the counter-attack. That's the only method, reliable way of United creating chances. But teams have cottoned onto that now, so they're not allowing United to have that space. So you need to do something else. But United are running out of options. Because when United do have settled possession, we don't really know what to do with it. We keep going around and around and around, and then eventually United are forced to just swing a hopeful cross into the box. Got a few prime examples of it here. Yes, United do have a decent few numbers in the box, but look where Bruno Fernandes is crossing it from. Like, the West Ham defenders have loads of time in order to actually sort of adjust their positioning and get ready for that ball to come in. Again with Bruno Fernandes here, less players for United in the box this time, swinging in another hopeful cross. Again, it's not just individuals, it's not Bruno Fernandes, it's not just Bruno Fernandes, sorry. It's also Bryan Mbeumo as well, swinging in crosses, largely from that right-hand side, as United had most of their attack going down that right-hand side with Ahmad being out there. But again, even with the likes of Mbeumo, Ahmad, you've got Fernandes, Cunha, United are reliant largely on swinging in these crosses into that box. And you're looking at it, United have Dalot, Cunha and Xerxes in there most of the time for those crosses. They're not really people you'd associate with winning those aerial duels in the box. Predictably, West Ham dealt with most of them pretty comfortably.
Who saw that coming? I did.
And again, this theme of United largely playing through wide areas and able to play through the middle of the pitch, this has been a common theme during Amorim's reign. It was there during the Europa League run last season, and we said United now, the next evolution for Amorim is to learn now, try and get this team playing through the middle. But like pretty much everything else at United, not much has changed. And the only time we had any real joy was when Ahmad went 1v1 with Diouf on United's right-hand side. It's hard to think that during AFCON, United's attack is only going to get worse. There we are, guys. Yet again, I'm doing these videos and just criticising United all the time. And it's because I don't see anything really sustainable about Amorim's United, and I never really have. He's been here for over a year now, and I'm just not seeing it. I said the same thing after that Palace game, and we won that Palace game. But as I've said, United can win games against anyone in the Premier League. But we're playing these 50-50 matches where they could easily go either way. Even up against teams where we should be dominating at Old Trafford. West Ham, as I've said, had one dangerous player to look out for. Like Paquetá wasn't playing, Somerville wasn't playing. They were missing some of their best attacking players. But only Bowen up there, United really struggled with it. And largely it was in that second half where United scored that goal and immediately just start retreating. We do everything super negative. The subs are always negative. The lack of youth trust is It's just always been an issue for me under Amorim. I spoke about that in a recent video. These 50-50 matches, if you're looking for that, then Amorim's your man. If you're looking to win titles, just don't really see it at all. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Do you think that what Amorim is doing is sustainable? Do you want it to stay? Or are you looking for other options now? Let me know down in the comments. As always, drop a like if you enjoy, guys. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'll catch you in the next one.